Hi, who am I? My name is Adama Jaden Mark Boge-Nielsen. Um, I was born on Valentine's Day in 1992 in Christchurch, New Zealand, 3 months premature with a hole in my heart, and was in an incubator for the first 7 months of my life. So I'm an Aquarius born in the year of the monkey. I am an INFP myable's personality type, and I recently realized that I have avoidant personality disorder. um, yeah. So my family. So my family. My mum. Um, she basically was a single mum at first of 5 kids. And all my siblings have different fathers. I was the youngest, and my mum, career-wise, she was a disability carer, then aged care worker, then EN, RN, and now mental health nurse. So my oldest sibling was my sister, and she's military police in the Air Force. And then the other brother runs a security business the other brother works for. And then there's let's say, dodgy brother. He's the one closest to me. And yeah, the story of my birth and conception and whatnot. So, my half brother's name, dad's name is Snow, and my dad's name is Ray. Go figure. But, so, Snow was basically the abuser and traumatizer of my family. Um, yeah, I won't go into too much detail. This is not my exact story to share, but he did try killing his own son when he was still a baby, being my half brother. And then my dad and uncle were sort of the muscle that helped my mum out of that situation. And I was born 3 months pregnant with a hole in my heart. You're gorgeous. So I only found my long lost dad side of the family when I was 27, and it was amazing and healing. Um, I done an incantation to call him my soul star family, and a week and a half later, my dad accepted my friend request, not knowing it was me, and found out I had a younger sister and brother and all long lost family, like first cousins that are Rarotongan and Māori, and yeah, it was amazing. My dad's side is Spanish, and Hill is the last name, and my mum's side, um, Danish. So that's where I get my last name from. So growing up, growing up, I for the most part lived on farms. One being a 40,000 acre sheep farm. Literally 7.5k was the driveway. 100k away was the nearest town, and I was homeschooled. And then we moved to a 30 acre hobby farm, which we had goats, chooks, pigs, a Shetland pony, rainbow lorikeets, budgies, finches, the worm farm. Yeah, a lot of animals to take care of. My stepdad is captain in the army, and he would travel 2 weeks away and be at home for 2 weeks. Um, Now, avoidant personality disorder. So, I think a lot of mine stems from my childhood. Partly, I guess, being premature and not being held for 7 months. Like I was cut open, stitched back together, and then put in an incubator. So, you can imagine that, I guess, trauma and everything that someone would go through. And then, sadly, growing up, when I was preemie and being on a farm, like not your manly man. So My stepdad being captain in the army, I sort of got the military life growing up, and nothing was ever good enough. And then if I did get in trouble, if I got upset, I was made fun of, and were yelled at more, and I couldn't explain why I wasn't so organized, and also I had a lot on my plate, and eventually I just would shrug, which would, end up getting me called stupid, and yeah, so then since 17 I've been through, I guess, HIV, Hep C, pneumonia, septicemia, kidney failure, 2 different suicide attempts, a lot of homelessness, and I guess a lot of avoidant personality disorder, not believing I was good enough or I had something to offer, or yeah, and thankfully I noticed a pattern when I was about 30. I'm 33 now, but I currently have a small non-cancerous brain tumour, and I have 2 leaky heart valves and 1's regurgitating, so I'm going to need surgery again for that soon. So AVP, as it's called, I didn't even know there was a disorder. Now, like, a lot of my life makes sense, because I'm not just socially anxious. Like, I think a lot of my social anxiety comes from being trans, and then everyone's staring and everything. But the ABP, no, APD, like that, it sort of inhibits all areas of your life, and you're constantly in the future, or analysing what people are going to think, or what they have said, or what they could say, and so you sort of self-sabotage a lot. You're not willing to take new risks, and or put yourself in new opportunities, because the fear of rejection or shame, or not being good enough, failure, that's a big word. I used to get words like children should be seen, not heard, and failure was, a big thing. So I adopted the mentality of don't try, because then I won't fail. So there's been a lot of things, like I'm actually a great artist, I've realised, and great with poetry, and great with pets, and yeah, a lot of other things, but I don't put myself out there enough. Even situations or opportunities that arise that I'm invited to, or I, want to do, I don't. And then loneliness. So the loneliness is a big thing. I self-isolate so much, and a lot of the time I sleep and sleep and sleep, and then when I'm awake, all I want to do is sort of go and sleep, which, it's tough. I guess some of the positives about having APD would be the amount, I guess, of research and studying of various topics that I've done, all types of topics, and the amount of internal introspection I've done. So I really, I guess, know myself now, and I have a lot of wisdom. Moments of impact is where wisdom is gained. So yeah, and then I guess sharing it with the world is the next step. I've also got this massive music mashup that I want to put, dance to in video, but that's putting myself out there again. What has also helped is baths. I have a lot of baths and try and have one nearly every day. So in that time I do meditation or stretching or listen to favourite music and really tune in and try and think positive thoughts. As the other half of the time I'm thinking negative and sort of thinking suicidal, even though I'd never do suicide because it's not how I'd ever see myself going, but just the want to not be here or live, which I don't know, sucks, but yeah. Anyway, I'll leave you with a fitting poem. I dwell by the calm and ever-flowing waters, for be it known, I send love to all our sons and daughters. For through our imagination we begin the process of manifestation. Remember, love, compassion, and forgiveness pave the way to our new planetary nation. For all those still suffering amidst the earth, know no physical thing can sum up one's worth. May you find comfort in these words and faith in what you cannot see. Look to your inner child for hope and courage of what could be.